Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care. On the alien planet of Zalithra, the rich tapestry of society thrummed with life. The square where Kira performed brought together diverse species, each more extraordinary than the last, filled with vibrant colors and curious customs. The twin suns bathed the scene in a golden glow, and the air was heavy with the scent of exotic spices and sweet fruits. Every evening, Kira took her place at the center of the bustling market, her heart pounding in her chest. Kira was no ordinary girl. With shimmering teal skin and striking violet eyes, she was the pride of her village, blessed with a voice that echoed like a songbird through the alleys. Yet beneath her harmonious exterior lay a profound sadness, for she was destined to become a commodity, sold by her own father, Theros. As she sang, Kira wished for a life beyond the fetters of her impending fate. Each note danced on the air, expressing dreams of freedom and escape. Little did she know that her life was about to change dramatically when a human named Jack entered her world. Theros, standing in the shadows, struggled with the weight of his decision. Desperation gnawed at him. The loss of their family's stature and resources left him with no choice. To him, selling Kira was not an act of betrayal, but a misguided attempt at securing what was ultimately best for her future. As he watched her perform, guilt entwined with determination. He had made up his mind to rid her of their dwindling legacy, no matter the cost to her spirit. But soon, the auction would alter the course of both their lives forever. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the marketplace as traders began to gather for the auction. Merchants hawked their wares, creating a swirling sea of sound that echoed through the air, each voice a bright, vibrant note in the symphony of the market. Kira's heart raced with every passing moment, each second further solidifying her dire fate. "Lot 45, bellowed the auctioneer, a lofty creature adorned with feathers and gemstones, his multiple eyes scanning over the crowd. An exquisite specimen from the village of Vorath, guaranteed to enchant. Kira stood on the pedestal, her gaze a mixture of fear and disbelief. She was being treated as an object, stripped of her humanity in front of a gaping audience. Bids began to rise, each number a nail driving deeper into her heart. 10 credits, shouted a voice, drowned by the clamoring of the crowd. 15. A voice rang out from a wealthy merchant decked in fine silks. Kira's father stood stiffly at the back, betraying hints of regret and weariness. Kira's breath quickened. "Please, father," she pleaded silently, her gaze cutting through the crowd to find him. "Stop this madness." As the numbers climbed, Jack stepped onto the square, his striking blue eyes scanning the scene. Tall and muscular, he was a stark anomaly amidst the varied populace of Zalithra. An unmistakable aura of strength radiated from him, and when his gaze fell upon Kira, something shifted in the core of her being. 20 credits! Jack's voice rang out clear and unyielding, slicing through the chaos like a knife. The crowd fell silent, curious whispers bouncing around. The auctioneer blinked in surprise. 20 credits? Do I hear 25? Kira's heart raced at this unexpected turn of events. Who was this human? What drove him to bid for her? He stepped forward, unwavering in the face of mounting scrutiny, and raised his voice again. 30 credits. I want to buy her freedom, not possession. Gasps echoed through the crowd while her father's eyes widened in panic. His voice trembled. "You can't do this. She is mine to sell." "I will pay whatever it takes for her to be free," Jack declared, his determination unwavering. In the wake of his proclamation, Kira felt something awaken within her, a flicker of hope. As the auctioneer continued calling for higher bids, she felt a surge of emotion. Was it truly possible to escape her dire fate? Before the final bid could be called, chaos erupted as Theros tried to regain control, but his pleas went unheard against the excitement of the crowd. Amidst the commotion, Jack leapt onto the pedestal, grabbing Kira's hand. "Come with me." She hesitated, fear clashing with the spark of hope ignited by Jack's declaration. But as the crowd surged around them, she made a choice. She took Jack's hand, and together they sprinted from the auction stage, hearts pounding, racing toward a future unknown. Kira's pulse quickened as they dashed into the narrow alleys of the marketplace, Jack pulling her along with a fierce grip. His touch was warm and reassuring, a stark contrast to the chill of fear gripping Kira's heart. She glanced back, half expecting her father's mercenaries to chase them through the throng, but they were lost among the colorful booths and bewildered faces. They slipped into the shadows behind a vendor's stall, breathing heavily as they entered a hidden alcove. Gasping for air, Kira leaned against the wall, struggling to comprehend the whirlwind she found herself in. "We did it," Jack murmured, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "They can't take you back now." "But why did you help me?" Kira asked, her voice trembling with gratitude and confusion. "You barely know me." "I couldn't just stand by and watch you be sold like a piece of meat," he replied, his sincerity etched in every line of his face. "I had to do something." Tears blurred Kira's vision as she searched his eyes. "Thank you. You risked everything for me." "It was worth it," Jack assured her, offering a soft smile that warmed her heart. "Now we need to find a way out of the city. I have supplies stashed in a safe place, but we have to move quickly." They slipped through the winding streets, Jack guiding her through a maze of alleyways. As they moved, Kira felt a strange mix of excitement and fear gripping her chest. The night was alive with a cacophony of sounds, distant chatter and laughter, but for Kira, the world felt entirely new, colored by the urgency of their escape. Eventually, they reached a small, abandoned outpost on the fringe of the city, a ramshackle building covered in vines, overgrown with wildflowers. As they entered, Kira felt a wave of relief wash over her. It was hidden, safe. Jack rummaged through a chest and pulled out a set of blankets, some rations, and a small crate filled with tools. "We can rest here for a bit," he said, dropping the supplies on the floor. "I need to gather my thoughts. We can't go back to the auction, but we also can't stick around for long. Your father won't give up easily." Kira nodded, her heart racing at the gravity of their situation. "What if he sends someone after us?" "We'll be ready," Jack replied. "Together we can figure it out." The warmth of the fire they built enveloped them, acting as a sanctuary within the chaos of the outside world. As the flames danced in the darkness, Kira and Jack shared stories of their lives, laying bare their hopes, fears, and dreams. Kira spoke of her life in Vorath, her aspirations of becoming a renowned singer, while Jack shared tales of Earth, its challenges and wonders, splendid streets, and towering structures. "I always wanted to travel," Kira confessed, her eyes shining as she imagined the worlds beyond Zalithra. "But I never thought it would be like this, running for my life." Jack chuckled softly. "Life always has a way of surprising us, doesn't it? But you're brave, Kira. I admire that." As days passed within their hidden sanctuary, Kira found herself growing closer to Jack. He was an anchor of support, teaching her survival skills while admiring her tenacity. In return, she introduced him to her music. Their connection blossomed, an intricate tapestry woven from shared experiences and genuine affection. Days turned into weeks as Kira and Jack continued their journey across Zalithra's lush landscapes, forging a bond that felt as powerful and eternal as the very stars above. They moved safely from sanctuary to sanctuary, blending into the vast expanses of rolling hills and dense forests. In their evenings, they frequently found themselves sitting next to a crackling fire, sharing stories and songs. Kira introduced Jack to the folk tales of her people, filled with ancient heroes and mythical beings. He listened intently, fascinated by the vivid imagery that came alive in her words. "I remember one tale," Kira said as the sun dipped low one evening, "about a great phoenix who rose from its ashes to start anew, just like how I hope to start my life." Jack's eyes gleamed with intrigue. "That sounds incredible. I've heard the moon is like that too, renewing each month, a symbol for change." One night, Kira retrieved an ancient stringed instrument from her pack, an intricately carved piece made from glowing wood, a cherished heirloom from her mother. "Do you play?" Jack asked curiously, his eyes widening in anticipation. "I haven't in a while, but I used to," Kira responded, cradling the instrument in her arms like it was a long-lost part of her soul. The moment felt significant, a reconnection with who she was meant to be. As she plucked the strings, a sweet melody filled the air, painting the dusk with elegance and emotion. Jack leaned back, absorbed in her music, feeling every note resonate deep within his core. "This is beautiful," he said, an appreciative smile on his lips. "You have a gift, Kira." Kira felt the blush rise to her cheeks. "Thank you. It's been hard to find the courage to sing since everything that happened. But with you, I feel free." "Free," Jack echoed, the word hanging between them like a promise. "That's the goal, right? To reclaim your life?" Feeling inspired by their shared dreams, Kira spent her days exploring the enchanting realms of the forest with Jack, uncovering hidden wonders. They discovered waterfalls that glistened like diamonds and fields of flowers bursting with color and vitality, where laughter filled the air. One afternoon, they visited a serene lakeside, dotted with luminous flora that glimmered beneath the sun. Kira stood on the shore, water lapping at her feet, mesmerized by the beauty around her. As she laughed and twirled, Jack couldn't help but feel captivated. She radiated a joy that had once felt distant. "Come on, Jack," she called, splashing him playfully. With a sudden burst of energy, he lunged forward, tackling her gently into the water. They emerged, laughter echoing around them, and for that moment, all worries melted away. Kira looked into Jack's eyes, a tenuous spark igniting between them, something pure and genuine. Later that evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Jack took Kira's hand, their fingers weaving together as they walked along the shoreline. "Kira, I want you to know I'm here for you. Whatever happens, you're not alone," he said, his expression earnest. Their eyes met under the fading light, and Kira felt her heart flutter. "I don't know what I'd do without you, Jack." "Then you won't have to find out," he replied, a reassuring smile spreading across his face. The intimacy in the moment felt electric, and as the warmth of the sunset enveloped them, Kira inched toward Jack, daring to close the distance. I really like you, Jack," she confessed, vulnerability etched in her voice. "Me too," he replied, his expression softening. "You make me believe in something more, something better." And just like that, as the stars flickered above them, they found themselves leaning closer, until their lips connected in a soft, tentative kiss that sent fire racing through Kira's body. It was as if the universe had conspired to bring them together, a testament to their newfound love amidst turmoil. As the days rolled on in their hidden sanctuary, Kira and Jack grew comfortable in their rhythm. Each day brought new adventures and deeper connections, but shadows still loomed. Tharos, desperate to reclaim his daughter, scoured Zalithra for any sign of her, and rumors about a rebellious human and his escaped alien companion spread like wildfire. Kira's heart thudded painfully in her chest when the reality washed over her one afternoon. They were in the heart of a secluded forest when a figure emerged from the shadows, a mercenary from her father's retinue. "Look who we have here," the man sneered, eyes gleaming with malice as he stepped closer. The little runaway and her human protector. Kira felt ice seep into her veins. "Jack, we have to run," she hissed, pulling him backward. But it was too late. The mercenary raised an arm, signaling for reinforcements, and before they could escape, more figures emerged from the trees, closing in around them. Jack stepped in front of Kira, determination radiating from him. "We will fight for our freedom," he stated confidently, though his heart raced. But Kira felt a surge of fear overwhelm her. "What if they catch us? Jack, I can't go back." His gaze softened. "You won't have to. Trust me. We'll get through this." Just as they prepared to confront the group, the mercenary smirked. "You don't stand a chance against us. Tharos wants his daughter back, and he'll do whatever it takes to find her." Kira's heart sank. The thought of her father, the man who had sold her, still searching for power, twisted in her gut. In that moment, doubt crept in. Maybe her father would never give up, and their lives would be torn apart once more. "Let us go," Kira shouted, desperation threading her voice. "You don't have to do this." "Unlikely," the mercenary replied darkly. "You cannot run from your destiny. You do not belong here." Jack clenched his fists, a fierce protector. "She's free now, Tharos. You can't take that away from her." "No," Tharos shouted, frustration spilling over. "You don't understand what you're doing. You'll regret this." Kira shook her head, heart racing. No more resentments, no more chains. I will never go back. Before Theros could react, mercenaries lunged forward, but Kira and Jack stood united. Together, they used every ounce of their strength and wits to fight back. Kira, empowered, found her own strength. With fervor and fervent belief in their cause, they outmaneuvered her father's men, darting past them in a blur. In the furious clash, Kira saw a chance, sprinting toward her father. "Please, Theros, this isn't the future we were meant to have." Finally, their eyes met, her fierce determination against his deep sorrow. For a brief moment, everything hung in the balance. Then, with a pained expression, Theros nodded, stepping back. "If it's freedom you seek, then go. You deserve to choose your own fate." With renewed strength, Kira and Jack escaped into the wild, their hearts pounding but souls united. As they ventured deep into the heart of Zalithra, they discovered a hidden sanctuary, a distant, shimmering valley lined with trees that sparkled like jewels. Kira gazed around, feeling the weight of the world lift from her shoulders. "We did it," she murmured, eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "Yes, we did," Jack replied, pulling her into a warm embrace. The heat of his body was comforting, radiating safety and love. "You're free, Kira, and so are we." In the days that followed, they chose to build a new life among the unfamiliar trees and creatures. They forged a home amongst the wild, combining their cultures, learning to navigate the beauty and depth of their differences. As they began to cultivate their new home, the surroundings felt alive with possibilities. But the remnants of fear still loomed in Kira's heart. The ties to her past remained unbroken. Just when they felt the semblance of peace, Kira's worst fear surfaced, a realization that her father had not given up. One afternoon, while they worked on fortifying their home, Kira noticed a figure lurking near the edge of the clearing. Her heart stopped. "Jack!" she gasped, pointing toward the figure. He turned sharply, instinctively stepping in front of her. "Stay behind me." His voice was low, the edge of tension evident. With dread creeping into her heart, Kira watched as the figure stepped into the sunlight. It was the same mercenary who had taunted them before. "So you thought you could escape, huh?" he sneered, a dark glint in his eye. "Back off," Jack barked, squared to confront him. Kira felt the fear surging inside her. This was the moment she had dreaded. But before Jack could react, the mercenary laughed, gesturing to the forest. "You think you're safe here? You're not nearly as clever as you think. What do you want?" Kira found her voice amidst the chaos. The mercenary smiled sinisterly. "Your father is offering a handsome reward for your return. You're worth more to him than you know." Kira's stomach dropped. "I won't go back, not ever." "Keep telling yourself that," he replied darkly. "You're merely delaying the inevitable." As if on cue, a group of mercenaries flooded into the clearing, a wall of hostility and greed. Kira's heart raced as panic surged within her. "Jack, we need to run," she shouted. But Jack stood firm, unwilling to leave her side. "We can't go back," Jack said fiercely. "We must fight for our freedom." As the mercenaries approached, Kira felt her resolve strengthen. "We can't let them take us back," she said, her voice firm. In that moment, they became a whirlwind of movement, dodging through the growing crowd of mercenaries. Adrenaline surged as Jack and Kira worked together, with Jack's strength and Kira's agility guiding them toward escape. With each maneuver, they drew closer to the edge of the clearing, where an expanse of trees awaited. "Up ahead!" Jack shouted, pointing toward a narrow thicket of trees that offered escape. Kira sprinted ahead but was caught off guard when a mercenary lunged for her, grabbing her arm. "Got you now," he growled. Without thinking, Jack hurled himself at the mercenary, a fierce determination fueling his every action. "Get away from her," he roared, tackling the man and knocking him to the ground. Kira gasped, watching Jack struggle with the mercenary. The fight was fierce, and panic coursed through her veins. "Jack!" she cried, desperate to help. With a surge of adrenaline, Kira broke free from the mercenary's grasp, launching herself toward Jack. "Let him go!" she shouted, determination fueling her as she found a nearby branch. In a blur of motion, Kira swung the branch at the mercenary's back, catching him off guard. He stumbled, allowing Jack to regain his footing. The moment created an opening. "Kira, now!" Jack urged, gripping her hand. They dashed through the trees, merging into the maze of the forest. The sounds of their pursuers echoed behind, but Kira's heart raced with the thrill of survival. "Keep going!" she shouted, breathless. With each passing hour in their flight, Kira felt a mix of exhaustion and determination. They had come too far to let fear consume them once more. As they navigated through the densely packed trees, Jack pulled her close, directing their course. "We just need to find a safe place to stop," he said, glancing over his shoulder. "They won't quit easily." Kira nodded, focusing on forging ahead. "There!" She pointed to a cluster of large, ancient trees shrouded in thick vines. "We can hide there." They ducked beneath the branches, their bodies pressed against the gnarled trunks as they listened for the sounds of their pursuers. Kira's heart raced, and in the shadows she felt Jack's warm presence beside her, a calming force amid their chaos. Minutes stretched into hours as they waited, adrenaline waning and fatigue setting in. Finally, the sounds of pursuit faded into the distance, replaced by the gentle whisper of the wind through the leaves. "Are we safe?" Kira finally asked, breathing a sigh of relief. "For now," Jack affirmed, resting against the trunk. "But we have to keep moving. Your father won't stop until he finds you." Kira felt the weight of truth settle upon her shoulders. "I can't go back, Jack. I refuse to ever face that life again." He turned to her, determination etched across his brow. "And you won't. We'll keep fighting as long as it takes." Reinvigorated by Jack's words, Kira straightened her spine. "I want to live on my own terms, with you, not as a pawn in someone else's game." As they resumed their trek, Kira couldn't help but feel a mixture of fear and excitement about their future. They traveled deeper into the forest, a refuge that felt as if it could shield them from the turmoil of their past. After a full day of walking, they stumbled upon a breathtaking valley, an expansive meadow dotted with colorful wildflowers under the warm sunlight. It was unlike anything Kira had ever seen, a sanctuary of beauty. "This is incredible," Kira breathed, overwhelmed by the ethereal atmosphere. They felt the weight of tension ease as they stepped into the open expanse, breathing in the fresh air. Jack smiled, his voice infused with warmth. "I think we could turn this into our home." Kira's heart fluttered at the thought. "You really believe we could build something here? A life?" "Absolutely," he replied, taking her hand in his. "We'll make it our own." That day the sun dipped into hues of orange and pink as they began to create a shelter, working side by side. Each small task felt monumental, the construction of their future beginning with every spent effort. Laughter punctuated their work as they leaned on each other for support. Kira's joy surged as they crafted their space, a humble home filled with dreams yet to be realized. By the time night fell, the stars twinkled brightly above them, illuminating the darkness with a soft glow. "Look at it," Kira murmured, awed. "This is our canvas." Jack nodded, pride filling his gaze. "And we're the artists." In the stillness of the night, Jack turned to her with seriousness illuminating his features. "Kira, what you've taught me about love and freedom has changed my life. I want to take this journey with you forever. Will you marry me?" Kira's breath caught in her throat, tears of joy filling her eyes. "Yes, 1,000 times yes," she exclaimed, wrapping her arms around him tightly. They stood beneath the painted sky, hearts beating as one, surrounded by a world that symbolized freedom and love. Kira realized that this moment was not just a union, but a promise to face every challenge together, to embrace every dream, and to live every moment with love. Months passed within the embrace of freedom, where every season brought new colors to their picturesque valley. Jack and Kira flourished together, creating a vibrant life that echoed with love and laughter. They invited others, refugees like themselves, into their haven, offering sanctuary to those in search of freedom. Kira's voice once again filled the air as she sang melodies that spoke of hope, resilience, and newfound love. Together with Jack, they turned their home into a gathering place, a symbol of acceptance, where cultures merged and friendships blossomed. As their wedding day approached, Kira stood in the center of the meadow, surrounded by vibrant flowers and twinkling lights. Friends from near and far joined them in celebration, a testament to the bonds they had formed and the journey they had taken. I can't believe this is happening, Kira whispered, immersed in the joy surrounding her. Jack's eyes found hers, a full smile lighting up his features. Just look at what we've built, he exclaimed. Together, we've created a paradise. When the ceremony began, Kira felt her heart swell. She promised to stand by Jack through every storm, to embrace the beauty of their differences, and to nurture their love. In return, Jack vowed to support her dreams and provide unwavering courage from that day forward. As they sealed their vows with a kiss, cheers erupted from their friends, echoing through the valley. Together they turned towards the horizon, where the twin suns danced across the sky. Kira and Jack held hands, knowing they were bound not just by love, but by the choices they had made, their claim at freedom. Whatever lies ahead, we'll face it together, Jack whispered, glancing at Kira with unwavering belief. Yes, together, she agreed, feeling the strength of their connection guiding them. As the sun set, illuminating the world with hope and possibility, Kira knew they had reclaimed their stories, interwoven forever as they traveled through life hand in hand.